Good morning, students. I am P.R. Chogule. In the last lecture of object-oriented programming, we discussed about the basic introduction for the object-oriented programming, then the difference between procedural-oriented programming versus object-oriented programming. Then we discussed the characteristics or the features of procedural-oriented programming, advantages and disadvantages of procedure-oriented programming. Next, we learn what is the actually object-oriented programming, what are the characteristics of object-oriented programming languages, and advantages and basic concepts related with object-oriented programming. In that fundamental concept, we learn what is the actually objects in object-oriented programming approaches. Then next, what are the classes? Next, what is the actually data abstraction? Next, encapsulation. Next, inheritance. Next, polymorphism. And next, message passing. These all are the basic fundamental concepts of object-oriented programming. Then, last lecture, we discussed the different applications, the areas of which the object-oriented programming approach is mainly used. Then, now in this lecture, we will learn the basic introduction to C++. Let us see what is actual C++ is there. The C++ is an extension of C language. C++ is an extension of C language. In the last year, you learned the C language. The C++ is an extension, means enhanced version of C language, and it is developed by Bajan Stronstrud at AT&T Bell Laboratory in the early of 1980s. C++ is the one of the basic object-oriented programming language which is an extension of C language, and it is developed by Bajan Stronstrud at AT&T Bell Laboratory. He is a master of Simula 67 and C wanted to combine the features of the both languages, and he developed a powerful language that supports object-oriented programming with the features of C. The developer of C++ is an master of Simula language as well as C language, but he wants to combine both the features of both the programming languages, and he makes a powerful language as C++, which supports the object-oriented programming features with the features of C programming language. C++ is a general-purpose programming language which has been derived from C programming language. For the C++ language, the basic programming language or the base for C++ is an C programming language. The basics or the basic features of C programming languages as it is are taken into the C++ programming language. C++ could be considered a superset of C language with extensions and improvements with object-oriented features included in it. C++ is an superset of C language. because C++ contains the features of the C language as well as the features which are provided by the object oriented approach. C++ runs on a variety of platforms such as Windows, Mac OS, Unix and Linux. C++ programs can be easily executed on different formats. For example, Windows operating system, Mac operating system, Unix operating system or the Linux operating system, etc. Next, C++ is the popular language because of the following reasons. Why the C++ programming language is more popular than C programming language? There are main two reasons. First one is the C++ is ideally suited for development of reusable software. The C++ programming language carries the object-oriented programming features. So, for the development of software, reusability feature of the object-oriented programming approach. And second one is reason is for C++ is highly flexible language with versatility. The C++ is a flexible because that it supports or other styles such as procedural programming in addition to the object-oriented programming. This is an basic introduction to C++ language. In short, C++ is a general-purpose object-oriented programming language developed by Bajan Stronstrup of Bell Labs in early of 1980s. And C++ was originally called C with classes and was built as an extension of C language because C++ carries the basic features of C with the extended features of object-oriented programming language. Its name reflects its origins C, but C++ literally means increment C by 1, means the features of C++ having the extended features of C programming language. Then next point is the features of C++. In this figure shows the different features of C++ programming language. First one is the simple. C++ is a simple language because it provides structured programming approach and rich set of library functions, data types, etc. C++ is a simple programming language. Next, portable. C++ is portable. C++ programs can be executed in different computer machines with little bit or no change. C++ is a portable programming language, means C++ programs can be executed on any platform. So it is portable language. Next, mid-level language. C++ is a mid-level language. C++ is regarded as a middle-level language as it comprises a combination of both high-level and low-level language features. the programming languages are divided into two parts, low-level languages and high-level languages. But the C++ programming language is the middle-level language because it compromises the features of both type of programming languages as high-level programming languages and low-level programming languages. Next, C++ is an structured programming language. C++ is a structured programming language in the sense that we can break the program into parts using function. So, it is easy to understand and modify. In C++ programming language, the program is divided into number of parts, and that parts are known as the functions or the methods. And by using the functions or methods, it is easy to understand the particular task or the particular concept. Next, rich library. Rich library means C++ provides a lot of inbuilt functions that makes the program development fast. Means the C++ library supports the number of inbuilt functions that functions makes the programming development fast. Next, C++ is an object-oriented programming language. All the features of object-oriented approach supported by the C++. Then next, memory management. Next feature is the memory management. C++ supports the feature of dynamic memory allocation. In C++ language, we can free the allocated memory at any time by calling the free function. C++ programming language supports the feature of dynamic memory allocation. What is a dynamic memory allocation? We already studied in the last lecture. This dynamic memory allocation is the basic or fundamental terms related with the object-oriented programming approach. Then, next one is the speed. Speed is also one feature of C++ programming language. The C++ provides the compilation and execution time of C++ language is very fast. Speed is the one of the basic or the important feature of the C++. C++ is faster because the compilation and execution of C++ language is very fast. While you are doing any C++ program, then at that time your compilation and execution time is very fast as compared to C programming language. Next, pointers. C++ provides the feature of pointers. By using pointers, we can directly interact with the memory by using the pointers. We can use pointers for memory, structures, functions, array, etc. Next feature is the recursion. In C++, we can call the function within the function. So, it provides code reusability for every function. What is actually meant by recursion? The recursion process calls the function itself. Means here the code is reusable. This is also the feature of C++ programming language. The recursion is also provided in C++. Next, extensible. C++ language is extensible because it can easily adopt new features. You can add any new features within an C++ programming language. Next, object-oriented. C++ is an object-oriented programming language. And as we know, the object-oriented programming languages makes the development and maintenance easier. Because object-oriented supports the classes and objects for solving the real-world problems. And last one is the compiler-based. Last feature is the compiler-based. C++ is a compiler-based programming language. It means without compilation, no C++ program can be executed. Without compilation, you cannot start or cannot execute the C++ program. Means first we need to compile the program using compiler, then we can execute the particular program. These all are the features of C++ programming language. Next point is the structure of a C++ program. At this point, learn what is the basic structure or what is the basic pattern for writing the C++ program. Let us see. A computer program is a sequence of instructions or a statements that tells the computer what to do. Means computer program. Consider your any program or a C program. Consider your any C program. What is that program actually contains? That program contains a sequence of statements or the sequence of instructions. That statements or that instruction tells the computer to what to do. These statements or the instructions form the structure of a C++ program. While you are writing the statements or the instructions in C++ program, then computer decides what we want to actually implement. C++ program is a text file that containing a sequence of C++ commands or instructions put together according to the laws of C++ grammar or syntax rules. Means, like your C program, C++ program is also a text file. That file contains the text data. By using different commands or the instructions given in the C++ programming library. C++ text file is also known as the source file. In the source file, you writing the C++ program code. At the same like C programming, for the C++ programming also, you can use the Turbo C compiler or the Turbo C editor for writing the C++ program or for creating the source code for the C++ program. And a C++ source file carries the file extension as .cpp. In a In a C programming language, you write a C program into Turbo Editor and you save that particular program with .c extension. In C++ program also, you can use the Turbo Editor for the writing of C++ program. You write the instructions or statements within that particular file, but while saving that particular file, you save it at .cpp extension. While you are creating C program, you save that particular file as a .c, but in C++ programming, you want to store that particular file as an extension of .cpp. Next, a typical C++ program would contain following 4 sections. There are main 4 sections containing in C++ program. First one is the include file section. Second one is the class declaration. Third one is the member function definition. And last one is the main function. These 4 parts or the 4 sections present in any C++ program. This figure also shows the basic structure of the C++ program. Include files, class declaration, member function definition, main function. These are the 4 basic components or the 4 basic sections present in C++ program. These are represented here. Means include files means you want to include one file #include iostream.h. Next, class declaration is here. Class test. Here test class is created. Number of member functions are here. Function 1, function 2. These are 2 member functions of the class test. And last part contains the main function. Main function is written here. Integer main, and here you can write the statements within an main function. This is the basic structure of any C++ program. Let us see one example. This is an example of writing or displaying the hello world message by using C++ program. This is an program. See the program. First, in the first line, there is an #include iostream.h. .h is an optional. #include iostream. What is an iostream, or what is the meaning of this first statement? #include iostream is a preprocessor directive and it starts from a hash sign. It is an preprocessor directive. It is an preprocessor directive and it starts from hash sign. This directive tells the processor to include the iostream header file to support input-output operations. Such a like you insert in C programming, here you can in C programming you include the files or the directives like conio.h, stdio.h. These are the directives you used in while implementing your C program. Like that directives, iostream is the one library which supports the input-output operations for the C++ program. Means IO stands for input output and stream means data. By using this directive, you can handle all the input-output operations, and all the C++ program begins with a #include directive that includes the specified header file contents into the main program. C++ program must start with #include directive. This directive includes the library functions into our program. Next statement, using namespace std. Means using namespace std tells the compiler to use the standard namespace. std stands for standard. In this program, std is the namespace where ANSI C++ standard class libraries are defined. Here, all the class libraries are defined. Namespace is a new concept introduced by ANSI C++ Standards Committee. And namespace defines the scope for identifiers that are used in our program. Namespace defines the scope for the different identifiers used in our program. Means using namespace std. This statement tells the compiler to use the standard namespace. Means in the standard namespace there are standard libraries. That standard libraries we can use in our C++ program. The next statement is the integer main. Integer main declares the main function, which is point from where C++ program begins their execution. And every C++ program must have a main function. Means the execution of program begins from the main function. Means from here actual execution of C++ program will be started. Next, opening curly brace. Next, there is one statement, cout less than sign hello world, and last int L. I tell you the meaning of this statement. Cout. Cout is an output statement. Just like your printf statement in C programming, cout is an output statement, and cout refers to the standard output. Cout means what? This is an output statement and it refers as standard output. This provides an output for the C++ program. And this symbol, double less than sign, is called the stream insertion operator, or it is also called as put to operator. This double less than sign is also called as put to operator, which is used to put a string hello world to the console. This symbol or this operator displays or it puts the message on the console or the output window. This is end-L statement, or end-L denotes the end of line or new line. End-L represents the end of line or new line. which is put to the console to bring the cursor to the beginning of next line. If you want to give the cursor to the next line or the beginning of the next line, then you can use NL for the output statement. Next, return 0 means return 0 is called as a return statement. When an executable program finishes running, then it sends a value to the operating system that indicates whether it was successfully run or not. Return 0 is a return statement which tells the operating system that the program execution is done successfully or not. When you execute this program on C++ program editor, then you get the output as message hello world, because we only displays a single statement as a hello world by using the output statement. This is an basic or the first hello world program in C++. As a like C program, you use Turbo editor for doing C++ program also. You can compile, first you can compile this program and then you can run, and after running you get this output. This is our first program in C++. Okay, next. Comments in C++. How to give, in this point we learn how to give the comments for any C++ program. Comments are part of source code discarded by the compiler. Comments are the part of the source code discarded by the compiler. They simply do nothing. Comments are do nothing in our program. A comment is a sequence of characters which improve the readability of a program. Means comments helps to identify program purposes and explain complex routines. Means comments असे स्टेटमेंट्स असतात प्रोग्राम मध्ये राईट केलेले की जे कंपायलर कशासाठीही यूज करत नाही. कंपायलर इग्नोर करतो त्या स्टेटमेंटला. पण कशासाठी असतात प्रोग्राम मध्ये कमेंट्स? प्रोग्राम मधल्या कमेंट्स काहीही एक्झिक्युशन परफॉर्म करत नाहीत. तर कमेंट्स कशासाठी असतात? कमेंट्स म्हणजे काय असतात? तर कमेंट्स म्हणजे काय असतात? एक स्टेटमेंट किंवा सिक्वेन्स ऑफ कॅरेक्टर्स असतात, बरोबर आहे, किंवा ते स्टेटमेंट्स असतात की ते आपल्या प्रोग्रामची रिडॅबिलिटी इन्क्रीज करण्यासाठी काय करतो आपण? वाढवतो किंवा रिडॅबिलिटी इम्प्रूव्ह करण्यासाठी त्याचा आपण यूज करतो. म्हणजे काय? आता फॉर एक्झाम्पल कन्सिडर करा, मी एक प्रोग्राम दिले, पण मी असंच तुम्हाला एक प्रोग्राम दिले, प्रोग्राम दाखवते. मला तुम्हाला प्रोग्राम देत असताना वरती एक अशी लाईन इन्सर्ट करायची की हा प्रोग्राम कशाचा आहे हे मला लिहायचंय. तर मी त्यासाठी काय यूज करणार आहे? कमेंट्सचा यूज करणार आहे. म्हणजे कमेंट्सचा यूज करून मी तो प्रोग्राम तुम्हाला कशाचा आहे, किंवा समजा एखादा मोठा प्रोजेक्ट आहे, प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये काय असतात? नंबर ऑफ मॉड्यूल्स, नंबर ऑफ फंक्शन्स खूप असतात त्या प्रोजेक्ट मध्ये. मग कुठलं मॉड्यूल कशासाठी आहे हे जर मला रिप्रेझेंट करायचं असेल तर त्या मॉड्यूलच्या पुढे मी काय लिहिणार आहे, कमेंट लिहिणार आहे. त्या मॉड्यूलच्या पुढे मी काय इन्सर्ट करणार आहे, कमेंट, की जेणेकरून ते मॉड्यूल कशासाठी आहे किंवा त्या मॉड्यूलचा यूज कुठं आहे हे मी तिथं काय करणार आहे, लिहून ठेवणार आहे. हे म्हणजे काय, कमेंट्स. C++ supports two ways to insert comments. First है line comment. A comment with double forward slash is a single line comment. समजा तुम्हाला एकाच लाईनला कमेंट प्रोव्हाइड करायची आहे, एकच लाईन तुम्हाला काय करायची आहे, कमेंट म्हणून इन्सर्ट करायची. त्यावेळी तुम्ही लाईन कमेंट यूज करणार आहे की ज्यामध्ये डबल फॉरवर्ड स्लॅश तुम्ही काय करणार आहे, यूज करणार आहे. The line comment discards everything from where the pair of slash signs it found to the end of that particular same line. Means तुम्ही डबल स्लॅश प्रोव्हाइड केला तर त्या डबल स्लॅश पासून पुढचं सगळं एंड ऑफ लाईन पर्यंत ऍज अ कमेंट म्हणून कन्सिडर करणार आहे. आणि नेक्स्ट आहे ब्लॉक कमेंट. अ comment started with slash and star and ended with star forward slash is called multiple line comment or block comment. म्हणजे तुम्हाला ज्यावेळी एकाच वेळी मल्टिपल लाईन्स ना कमेंट प्रोव्हाइड करायची असते, एखादा कोड तुम्हाला ब्लॉक ऑफ कोड किंवा एखादं फंक्शन तुम्हाला नको आहे तर त्या होल फंक्शनला जर तुम्हाला कमेंट प्रोव्हाइड करायची असेल तर त्यावेळी तुम्ही काय यूज करणार आहे, ब्लॉक कमेंट. की ब्लॉक कमेंटने मल्टिपल लाईन्स ना एकदमच काय मिळते, कमेंट भेटते. मीन्स द ब्लॉक कमेंट डिस्कार्ड्स एव्हरीथिंग बिटवीन द slash star character and the first appearance of the star forward slash characters with the possibility of including more than one line. By using block comment, you can give comment for the more than one line present in our program. Let us see one example. Program with types of comments in C++. Here in this program, I given the block comment. In this way, here I will give the block comment, and here I gave the line comment. These two are the example of line comments because these comments provides for that particular one single line only. I want to give comment for this line. Then by using line comment symbol, I am giving here a comment. Here also there is a line comment. I am showing here the what is the actually working of this statement. The working is given in the comment format, and this one is the block comment. For example, I want to give comment for these both statement. Then I also use the block comment. If I want to give a block comment to these two lines, then I use the block comment as a this way. I gave the comment for these two lines. Okay. Next point is the basics of C++. In basics of C++, first character set. First we will discuss the character set in C++. You know the character set present in C programming language. In the same way, of the C programming language, C++ has also a character set. The C++ program is made up of sequence of characters and consists of upper and lower case letters, digits, special characters and white spaces. The letters and digits together constitute the alphanumeric set. The C++ program made up of sequence of characters, and that characters consist of upper and lower case letters, digits, special characters and white spaces. Means character set of C++ program is shown here. It consists of letters, means uppercase letters A to Z, lowercase letters A to Z, digits from 0 to 9, then all the special symbols and white space characters, means backslash characters. For example, /n is used for new line. If I want to provide a tab in a statement, then I can use the white space character as a /t, etc. This is an character set for C++ language, which consists of letters, digits, special symbols and white space characters. Next one is the tokens. What is tokens? Tokens are the basic building blocks of C++ programming language, which are constructed together to write a C++ program. A token is defined as the smallest unit of a program. Token means what? Smallest unit of a program, and that token consists of keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, operators and special symbols. Means collectively together all these concepts or all these parts our C++ program is constructed. Means tokens are the basic building blocks of C++ programming language, and which are constructed together to write a C++ program. For writing any C++ program, you need all these tokens. And token consists of keywords, identifiers, constants, strings, operators as well as special symbols. Collectively together all these tokens forms a C++ program. And in short, token are nothing but the smallest unit of a program. Means cout. This is one type of token. Endl is also called as token. Then hello is also token. Plus symbol is an also token in our C++ program. Next, keywords. You know keywords. What is actually keywords? Keywords or reserved words have a specific meaning to the compiler and cannot be used in the program for other purposes. Keywords are also called as reserved words. Means keywords meaning is already stored in our program library. Means our C++ library, and the keywords cannot be used for any other purposes. Means this here in this figure I shown the keywords present in C++. Bool is an keyword, const is a keyword, double, float, integer, private, short, switch, These all are the keywords present in C++. Means the keywords are the words or the predefined words in a programming language whose meaning is already defined in programming library and it cannot be used for any other work. For example, you cannot declare the variable name as a break because break is a keyword. This is all about keywords. Next, identifiers in C++. Identifiers. Identifiers means identifiers are mainly used for identifying. Means searching identifiers. Then what are the identifiers in C++? First we will see what is an actually identifier is. In C++, the names give to objects, structures, functions, arrays, etc. To identify them called identifiers. In any programming language, there are identifiers. Mainly, identifiers are used to identify the things. Means, in C++ programming, the names given for any concept in object-oriented programming approach like objects, structure, functions, arrays, classes, etc. And the identifiers are used to identify. Means identifiers in C++ means the names given for anything given in C++ programming language. An identifier is an arbitrary long sequence of characters and digits like student name. If I want to give name for the any variable as a student name, then I can use underscore symbol for removing the space between two words. Next, this is an also identifier or this is one type of variable declared in C++ program. EMPL D010 means alphanumeric name is here, alphanumeric identifier is here. But there are some rules for giving or for declaring the identifiers in C++. First rule is that the first character for any identifier must be a letter or a underscore symbol. Means any identifier must start with the letter means capital or small A to Z or the underscore symbol. Means first character in the identifier does not have a numeric value. Next rule is for defining identifier in C++ is C++ is case sensitive language. Hence student in uppercase student and student or student are treated as separate characters and are therefore two different identifiers. Means this student and this student or this student, these three are different in C++ because C++ is an case sensitive language. Next, means this student and this student are three different identifiers because C++ is an case sensitive language. Next, an identifier should not be a keyword. I told already that keywords cannot be used for any other purpose. So, an identifier should not be a keyword. Next rule, the length of an identifier below 32 characters. maximum 32 characters are in the or for defining the identifier. You can use maximum 32 characters for defining any identifier in C++ programming language. For example, Amar EMP ID. This is one type of valid identifier in C++. Next, student ID 10. This is also an valid identifier in C++. EMP salary. This is also one type of valid identifier. Next, variables in C++. A named memory location used to store data and whose content may change during program execution is called as variable. You also know the variable definition because variable concept is in C programming language. Same concept in C++. Variable means what? Named memory location. What is variable? Variable is nothing but the named memory location. And the variables are used to store the data or the content in the program execution. There are some rules while defining the variables in C++. First, the name of a variable should be unique and a valid C++ identifier. Variable name should be unique in C++ program. Variable's name can be as short as a single letter and first 32 characters can be considered. Means same as identifier, maximum 32 characters you can use, maximum 32 characters or 32 alphabets for defining any variable. Next, do not use keywords as a variable name. You cannot use the keywords for declaring any variable. Next, variable names must begin with a letter or a alphabet or underscore symbol. Same as the identifier, the variable name must begin with letter or the alphabet or the underscore symbol. And last rule is no blank space is allowed in variable. Means, for example, if we want to declare a variable as student name, so there is no space between student word and name word. These all are the rules for defining the variables in C++ program. Next, we will see how to declare a variables in C++. The variable must be declared before they are used in the program. You want to declare the variables before they are going to be used in our program. Same as in C language, you want to declare a variables before they are going to be used in our program. C++ permits declaration of variables anywhere in the program. By using C++ programming language, you can declare the variables anywhere in the program. The declaration of variable consists of data type and variable name. The basic syntax for declaring any variable in C++ program is shown in below. First, you want to give data type for that particular variable. Then you want to give the name for that particular variable. At the last, there is a semicolon. For example, if I want to declare a variable a of the integer type, then I can define that or declare that particular variable a as a integer a. If I want to declare two variables x and y of integer type, then simultaneously I can also define that two variables integer x comma y. If I want to declare float type of variables to variables a and b, then I can declare it by using float data type and variable names. If I want to declare more than one variables at a time, then I can use the separator operator as comma for separating two variables. Next one is the initialization of variable. Means if I want to assign a particular value to the variable, then initialization operator or the assignment operator is used in C++, same like a C programming language. Initialization of variable can be done at place where it is declared or anywhere in the program before their use. Means you can do initialization for the variable where that variable can be declared or anywhere in the program before they use. Variable declared can be assigned or initialized using assignment operator is equal to. By using equal to operator, you can assign the values to the variables. Suppose if we want to initialize the variable to the specific value, the following syntax is used. For initialization of variable, there is an syntax shown here. First, we want to specify data type. Then we want to specify variable name for which we want to assign a value. Then equal to or the assignment operator for assigning the value, and initial value means assignment or value to be assigned to the variable. For example, if I want to assign a 0 value to the variable x, then I can initialize the value to the x variable as integer x is equals to 0. Means I can initialize the value to the variable at declaration type also. Declaration time also. This is an initialization of variable. Here is an example of static and dynamic initialization of the variable. In this program, here the static initialization is done and here the dynamic initialization is done. Here why it is an static initialization? Because here the variable values are constant, or we can assign the value to the variable at or before the compilation. So here values are fixed, and it is dynamic because n1 plus n2's value is assigned after executing the program, means at the runtime. So it is dynamic initialization. Okay, got it? Okay, thank you.